All right, so let me talk about what you guys discovered last time and what you know. You went into the giant, a massive seashell that is Nautilus, a place for meditation, and a place that sort of brings your spirit souls to the surface, and discovered that what had been going on with these monsters that were going out and harvesting people for their magic was that somehow the Torrentstal had been brought here. And it seems to have kind of intersected and halfway appeared, halfway not appeared inside of Nautilus. Now, your original...
This is not what we
This
expected.
is not what you expected. Your intent had been to come here to go and find the Elvish Mage and get the key to the Torrentstal from him, and possibly check what had gone on with the arm of the dead god that he had, in case that something had gone wrong with that. And then your plan had been, once that had been secured, to actually go to where you believe the Torrentstal could be sort of brought with the key, at the proper timing of that, enter in there and get essentially some of the materials that Palak had described that you would need for bringing the Empress back. Essentially,
Instead.
yeah. Essentially, what you know is that there are some magical pieces here, and Palak has kind of given you a rough description of what they'll look like, based on his previous information, that you need to recover from here for the resurrection of the Empress. And when you arrived, you found that the place was very strange. You found that it had this sort of weird pseudo-organic sections and then sections back of the shell itself. You moved through, and after crossing this great cavern that you see on screen, the previous fight, you battled against some of these gelatinous cubes and gelatinous tetrahedrons, and took soaked up some damage there. After that, you made your way through, and you encountered another person here. And we will come back up to the main screen. I'm going to pop you guys there. You met an elf named Aldeban, and he gave you some information. Once it became clear that he originally claimed that he was a survivor of the attack, that he had been in one of the meditation chambers, but you soon realized that that was not the case. And it became clear that instead Aldeban had been part of the crew that had come with Lord Dusk's agents, the ones that had brought that other false empress, that some of them had been killed outside and the others had made their way in. They had been looking for something, as Aldeban described it, not what you were looking for, but something else, that he wasn't sure what it was. They ended up finding their way to what it was, apparently teleporting away while they left Aldeban behind. The other thing you discovered in sort of the conversation was that Lord Dusk's people have already been to the second of the sites that you were heading to.
The no, wait, what's it? It was the one that was not the shark, right?
Not the shark, but the place known as Landark.
Landark, that's it.
Yeah. And your suspicion is that they probably grabbed the thing there that you want from Landark.
Okay. So if we catch these guys, we're in good shape.
What did we want from Landark?
So there are three pieces of the MacGuffin. Okay, if I may, I'm going to call it the MacGuffin. Okay, the MacGuffin device to bring the Empress back. There was a set of materials there at Landark a set of scrolls you were to retrieve that apparently has already been retrieved by
These
Aldeban's
guys.
allies,
Who are called the Veil Cutters?
the Veil Cutters. And the second part of the MacGuffin that you need is the materials that are here that have clearly not yet been taken
In the Torrentstal.
in the Torrentstal.
Okay.
The goal is to gather those two pieces together and head into the ruins inside the Great Old White.
Are they scrolls or what are they?
The first MacGuffin that apparently these guys got a hold of before you guys is a set of scrolls.
No, I mean we don't know what the things here are.
You're not sure what the thing here is. No.
Okay.
I thought
So
the
it's
Veil Cutter stole them. They stole a scroll.
From
And they're
Landark.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought they were going someplace else now. Okay. I thought they went to Landark, they were here and already left.
And they got something here, but we don't think it was what we were looking for, right?
No.
Exactly. So the bottom line is in terms of purposes, you need to find what you need here.
Okay.
You need to then go and find your way to the Great Old White to hopefully get there or before they get there.
Do we
One
even
can
know what we're looking for?
Okay, so
You have the
We
descriptions
have an
that
idea.
Palat gave you.
now from the
Wait,
Veil,
sorry.
the Veil
Three people
Cutters.
three people were talking. You have a what that what Palak gave us?
Palat gave you the descriptions of the items that you require here.
Oh, okay, right.
So Abden, whatever, Eldeban,
Eldeban, yep.
Eldeban, he was with the Veil Cutters and they left him.
Yes.
And the Veil Cutters, from our dealings with them in the Templars, are they new gods or are they old gods or what are they, or is that irrelevant?
That's kind of irrelevant. That's a separate thing. They seem to be at least marginally associated with Lord Dusk, who was behind Palak's attack,
Right,
the attack
right,
on Palak, and seems to be. You're not sure if he's working for the Siren or for his own ends, but he certainly seems to have his fingers in all of these pots.
Okay. So, well, I know we were questioning Aldeban, but did he satisfy us that he's not going to stab us in the back, or
No, well, I mean, practically yes. He clearly recognizes that that you pose a risk to him. However, Matt's reading of him is that while he's not corrupted, he is kind of not a good guy.
why do we pose a risk to him? Because we don't really care about him if he helps us get out. I mean, we get out, go his own way, do what he wants.
Right, but he kind of doesn't trust you.
Because he's never been around
No, that's
anyone
fine.
who
Yeah,
would
that's fine.
take
I
the
mean, he
higher
doesn't trust
road.
us. There's more of us. That's fine. Okay.
Right.
Okay, that's fine.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions before we get started?
Yeah, so you mentioned there were 3 pieces of the MacGuffin. You
Yeah.
described 2 of the pieces of the MacGuffin.
Yes. So let's say here's what I'm going to say. Let's give a name because I'll describe what in fact it is here. The thing you need to find in the Torrentstal is a mask. Okay. Of a sort. So there's a mask here in the Torrentstal you need to get. There were scrolls in Landark. You need to take those pieces together and go to the ruins that are inside the Great Old White. And there you should be able to put those things together with the particular place in the ruins to be able to bring the Empress back, hopefully.
Okay.
So the third thing is a place?
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
I see.
And so, since they didn't need the things that we need, one might say that either they're not going to summon the Empress or they're going to do it corrupted or wrong.
It might be.
Might be.
Okay.
Okay.
So we got to find this. Now, are these tetragels like all over the place I mean, can we see them? We're on a bridge. Can we see them around? Is there other stuff going around?
Well,
What-
remember that you moved on to another set of rooms after this, the
Okay.
pit that had him in it,
Mhm.
and now his question is this: are we going to go back to leave, or are you guys pressing forward deeper in?
We're pressing forward. If you want to leave, you're more than welcome to.
And he will look around. He said, I wanted to leave earlier, but you wouldn't let me. So let me be sure that you are serious in your releasing of me.
Wait. Why wouldn't we let him before?
Because you didn't trust him. That was at least my impression. Am I incorrect on that, guys? I thought that was...
Is there okay?
We told him that he needed to tell us what was going on. I think we were pretty no nonsense about that, but I wouldn't say that we didn't let him leave until he did.
Okay, Coach
Then he
Chanel,
sort of my impression was that he sort of followed us after that because we were not going the way he wanted to go, but he didn't feel like trying it by
right.
himself.
Well, you guys didn't move forward after that. That's what we kind of left
so
off.
Coach
Okay.
Chanel, does he have?
Yes.
Any, being our resident magic expert on magic, is there any chance that he can make it so we can't get back?
I sort of. You mean, does he have magic? And she sort of looks at him. Does he have anything magical on his person that would be?
He probably has
sufficient to cause-
minor magic items, maybe one-shot kind of things on him at this time.
Okay, and I just asked him to show me those real quick. Not that I'm going to take them unless there's something that'll bring down ceilings.
Okay. He will do so hesitantly.
Okay, and what's he got?
It looks like mostly combat boosts.
Those are nothing. Insignificant. He'll be lucky if he makes it out.
Well, that was my thought on the whole thing. Was I mean, it was pretty risky getting in here with the four or five of us. I didn't think that he'd survive on his own, but if he wants to make that chance.
So how are we going to? And we don't even know how we got here. So how are we going to get out of here?
Well, you do have a path back if it stays as it was.
I mean, we're just going to walk back out. I mean, it's inside the shell.
You can always go back to Palanx.
That's true.
The only reason that we've gone forward is that we were hoping to rescue some people and to find what we're looking for. That was my impression, but
Yes,
Yes.
and the Planck is supposed to work extra planar, right?
pretty much.
You'll find out.
Okay.
So where you guys are at, you've come down from this previous area, moved on. So essentially, you went into.
So is he coming with us?
If you allow him to leave, he will leave.
I'll look at him and go, I think we got an easy way out of this. We are going farther in. But I think we got an easy way out of this. If you want to stay with us.
What do you mean an easy way out of this?
Well, an easy way out that we're not going to reveal right now.
Like your buddies did, except that we'd take you with us.
You see him rolling that over in his head. You see
we're
him
not asking
looking at Tommaso.
You have my word as a man of the cloth that protection will be extended unto you.
All right. Okay. Fair
Now,
enough.
We expect you to carry your weight. We don't expect you to do anything stupid. But, if we get attacked, I expect you to start hammering people. Are you more of a frontline fighter, or what are you?
I'm a support fighter.
So what do you do? Sneak around and hit them?
When I
hard, or
can, I usually back people up.
Back people up.
Exactly. I usually engage once the foe has already been engaged by someone else and use my ability
okay.
that way.
That's fine.
Um,
But,
I'm versatile.
well, be versatile and don't be useless.
Fair enough, my lord.
It's dog.
Fair enough, my lord dog.
Can we move on now?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, you guys have hit that sort of clearly the area that you chose kind of goes deeper into what is the Torrentstal. And it looks like you have two directions to go out of this room. He will tell you that the one direction that's sort of, let's say, the left-hand path out of here is the way that he came down through here, and that it goes back up into the sort of guest chambers and things like that. There were some beasts, and there was another path, big path off from that that he didn't go down. That looked like it actually kind of went more sort of drop down. The right-hand path he hasn't gone down, so he's not sure what's there.
So what's the right-hand path? What does it look like?
Both of them look like sort of almost wooden archways. The walls all have that sort of reddish lacquery look to them, like kind of oozing flesh made wood. This one does seem to turn and angle downwards. So you've got the left-hand side that goes up, and this right-hand side that kind of goes down.
So about how far away was the place he explored?
Because I walked for a while. The distance is very strange in here. It's much bigger than it ought to be. I walked for perhaps 20, 25 minutes from the last major junction point that I had reached to get down here.
Okay, I'm thinking we go this new way, but I'm just guessing.
Sounds as good as anything. If we have to retrack, he'll be a specialist in what's there along the way.
Sure.
Okay. So I assume that...
What kind of beast did he see? Can he give us a brief description?
He'll say, I saw more of those crab things around. Not the big ones, but the lobster men. There were also some other things which appeared like they were marine in nature, but odd. And I saw some others of the gelatinous things moving around. There was a dodecahedron.
Oh, great.
Ooh.
Did it have a 20 on it?
I didn't see.
Okay.
Oh, it would roll one eventually.
Critical.
I guess that. Coach Schnell, you were saying you were interested in rescuing some people. Actually, where he came from, there'd be more likely to be some people there. But they could all be dead by now.
As I said, I honestly didn't see anybody there. If there had been monks in this place, they were dealt with early on.
Okay, well that sounds good. Let's go to bad. So let's go to the new place.
Okay, so
All right.
I assume that the marching order is again Rook in the front, Kathak in the back. Who is his second behind Rook?
Dog.
And then the cleric in the center.
Yep.
That seems sensible.
Now, how about this guy can be in front of Kathak,
Okay.
and then Kathak can basically keep an eye on him a little bit.
Okay. So we will put Aldebin in slot 4.
Yeah, if he
Unless Rook, you want him up with you, and so he can help you out looking at stuff. I don't know.
No, that's all right. Let him. Kathak, keep an eye on him. If he acts funny, just pretend like he's dog.
He does kind of look at you, Scott, and you will see him make a gesture to you. Just kind of out of the eye shot of the other people of Brotherhood of the Prince of Shadows. Clearly, he's checking to see if you have ties to that figure or not.
Oh, I don't know. Give him the what would it be? The do ties count as good or bad?
Do you want to have him think that you are associated with him or not? It's a difficult question. What's your decision, Scott? Hey, and that's where Skype went dead. Yep, that is the disadvantage to using Skype with Roll20. Luckily, the recording keeps going while we wait for.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go.
Jerry.
Did you guys lose us? Was it?
It might have been me. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I was just for a very short time.
Okay.
I heard Scott saying no, he's not going to do the.
No. So
See,
Scott.
we didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if that was on our side.
Then he said yes, he's going to lie to him and get
The-
the wrath of the Prince of Shadows down upon his nose.
Okay, so you do that. Okay, and he'll kind of you don't respond, and he doesn't. He kind of looks away. All right, Scott, you will make your way down this hallway. Again, disorienting, strange smells, weird sensations here. Very strange kind of place. Disorienting, all over the place. But I'm going to have you make a thief roll for me, Scott.
Hold on a second. I'll actually be in Roll20.
Yay.
No, that's not the right one.
Are you using Twiddler?
No, I was in the wrong.
Wrong game?
Yes, the wrong game.
Yeah, I don't see you on the thing, so that would explain it. You're logged in another campaign. You whore.
Pathfinder, isn't it?
Yeah. He is kind of a Pathfinder whore.
Why? You know, it ticks me off because sometimes I can get right to it, and sometimes there it is. I just have to find the right thing in my cache.
There you are.
All right. So
So
Scott,
make a thief roll.
make your thief roll, sir.
Is this looking for traps?
This is looking for traps.
So that would be just wisdom or intelligence, is it?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Oh.
24.
24. So you will move along here. There aren't steps. It does go down sort of at a angle as it curves. And you will kind of stop and mark out in several places because there are sections of the floor, not great scads, but spots like drops in places where, again, the floor has that softness to it, and where clearly some of the material isn't holding together well. And so you kind of mark those to make sure that the group, nobody steps in those, like quicksand or anything like that. Does that seem reasonable?
Okay. No mucus.
Okay. You will come along here, hit the sort of the curve, and you can see the hallway goes on a little ways, and then the sort of quality of the light changes, and it goes from kind of a reddish brown to the room. You can see a ways up ahead down this hallway has a more of a golden glow to it. I assume proceed forward, or do you want to do anything different here now that you see there's a significant change?
No, proceed.
Okay. You will move forward, again, being cautious, looking, checking things out, and you will see that the room up ahead everything here has been kind of organic and weird, sort of round edges. The room up ahead has sharp angles to it, and it actually looks like the room itself is has 6 sides, like it is a hexagon. And you can see that there are 2 doors out of there.
Yes.
One of them that's open and one of them that's shut. But the thing that will strike you is that the kind of the glow and the gold is kind of coming from the walls, kind of glowing out, and it looks to you like the walls are made out of beeswax.
Huh.
Kind of yellowish
It's a
beeswax.
hexagon, and it's made out of beeswax.
Yes.
How big would the bee be that would fit in this?
Fit in this thing? Well, the room itself is probably about 50 feet across.
So it's pretty monstrous.
Yeah, there is a ceiling on this room, and there are doors out of here.
Okay, okay. My animal husbandry would be able to tell is any? I mean, besides that, I mean, does it really it doesn't really resemble a honeycomb, does it?
So you move up. Why don't you make that animal husbandry plus intelligence roll for me, dog?
Was it 5?
Don't forget your level.
I got it. Oh, it's just like one. It looks exactly like a honeycomb.
No,
except
this is clearly a room. I mean, you can see that the floor is... it has that same sort of weird texture that the other areas have had, but it's in kind of white and grays, but it has that sort of almost smoothed down wood with some light veining to it. So that's clearly a constructed floor, and the ceiling looks the same. The walls themselves, though, look like wax. And as you kind of move out and take a look, kind of angling around, you can see sort of the outlines of honeycombs in that beeswax on the walls.
okay.
The honeycombs are probably about an inch across, so they're not huge. They're bigger than your standard honeycombs, but they're not like, massive
Dragon-sized bees.
dragon-sized bees.
They're not dragon bees.
Right.
I just made those up. I like them.
Oh, we're going to write that down for later.
All right.
These are the dragon bees.
So one of the doors is open,
Yeah.
and one of them is shut. What is the door made of?
So it looks like the sort of the beeswax. The reason you can see the doors is that the beeswax sort of ends at about. It sort of tapers out about a foot away from the doors on the walls. The door that's shut is sort of a double doors with a great set of looks like slick white handles. They almost look like bone to them that have kind of indentations where your hands and fingers would kind of grab onto them. The other door is smaller and is sort of standing open. What do you guys want to do?
I guess I'll cautiously go over towards the open door and take a peek through.
Okay, Scott, why don't you make a wisdom check for me there?
Watching for bees, deadly bees.
Be watching for Doa.
Just a wisdom check?
Yeah,
So what is that? Wisdom plus level?
yeah.
Like count as a skill check? 19.
So you'll kind of move through here, and you do hear, as you're moving through here, kind of distantly and from all around you, the sound of bees. But you don't see any.
Okay, that got scary.
Do you keep moving? You're about, let's say, 10 feet into the room.
Does anyone have a way to see in like
Coach,
invisible
can you-
objects.
Can you do like any mist or anything like that?
Yeah, mist or smoke. I could do smoke, I think.
Okay. So you will cast out the smoke into the room. It will kind of roll out in there, and you won't see anything appear in the haze.
We don't see any of the smoke being like blown around or moved around.
No.
Don't you get like a little push or something like that?
I have a little push. I think what actually might be useful is a cantrip to sense life, though, at this point.
Okay. Do you have something like
So,
that?
I think I do.
Okay.
I know she does. I saw her write it down.
That or I'm remembering someone else's list of cantrips.
No, I'm pretty sure it was yours.
Yep.
Was it? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I remember you getting that one.
Puff of smoke, okay.
Sense life and any GM fuckover spell. That was.
Oh,
that's
we know.
Well, let me
what.
ask some of the
I
other
can
people
actually-
while
I'm
you're
sure there-
while you're doing
yeah.
your cantrip search.
Sorry. There's just 9,000
okay.
of them. That's the problem.
Kathak,
Your name is now
Tommaso,
called on
is there anything that you guys are doing while this is going on?
Bees. How far?
Don't you got like a gas arrow,
We-
Katak?
We see, like, we don't see. We just hear them, right? They sound very far away. Close?
Scott is the only one who's moved into the room so far, and he can hear
okay.
them.
Let's see.
And he's probably sort of signaled and indicated to you that he's hearing bees. Tommaso?
Not sure if I have.
Well, how much can we cover up?
I have something if it's like a person. I don't
Okay.
have anything if it's an insect. Kind of very specific-y.
What about? I mean, do we got any? We're all wearing armor.
Right?
That should protect us against unless they're psycho bees,
They are.
which they.
Or psychic bees.
Oh, there we go.
Psychic.
Scott,
Psychic dragon bees.
I guess one thing I'll do is I'm gonna move towards the door so I can cover Scott.
Okay.
In the event anything goes pear-shaped.
and so when you move in, as soon as you kind of start crossing the room, you will also hear that sound.
Race.
Scott,
Race.
I'm getting some
Yes.
echo. You will hear a voice in your head say, "Do you see all the bees?"
This is still wrong.
They're bee spirits.
This is still wrong too.
What did I do wrong?
Well, I don't know. Look at
I don't see them. Are they spirit bees?
it. It's wrong.
I can
Can you
see
see
I
them.
want to hear this crap anymore. And do it right.
Who is it that's... Oh, sorry.
Give me that.
Sorry, hang on. We're getting some cross chat here.
Then bring it back. I need it. Sorry, it's me.
That's okay.
Smack him, Carl. Smack him.
No, he's a good kid.
He's a good kid.
Just not right now.
No, he's a good kid, but I need to put him
Smack
on the
him.
straight and narrow.
Okay. So,
He's got to get gooder.
Good
I'll
good wrist.
will say that I think my spirit says they're spirit bees.
Oh, well, that can't be bad. Because getting your spirit stung would be refreshing.
I don't think she wants to get stung by bees.
no.
No. Let's see here.
So Scott, Tommaso has moved into the room. The other three are holding back. Do you wish to continue across to the other door or fall back?
I'll ask her. Are they coming closer? Do they seem agitated?
It's like we're in a field with the bees.
Is there a path?
Why don't you make Scott? Can I have you make a wisdom roll for me?
Not another one.
Yeah.
$16.
She'll start. Oh yeah, you know what it reminds me of? That time that we were in that field with the flowers, and
Oh.
you'll start. You'll have that thing where that memory kind of comes to the fore, and that's kind of overwhelming you because you're smelling the flowers from that time and being with her then, and that starts to overwhelm you. And you kind of just barely shake that off.
I'm gonna head for the door.
Which one, the closed or the open one?
The open one.
Okay. You make your way across quickly, slowly.
Quick movement, irritate bees.
If you step
Quickly.
on one.
Quickly but carefully.
Okay. In that case, why
Whoops.
don't you make a dexterity roll for me?
I am acrobatic. I'm nimble. I am...
You can't see what you're avoiding.
Yes, but I have a preternatural thief's danger sense.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, good.
That will make...
Yeah. Then roll with your preternatural danger sense, the background.
I'm a thief! We don't always see what's coming. 22.
That's when
Okay.
you get...
So you move swiftly, but then kind of slow down, because you will hear the sound as you move quickly of the bees kind of getting agitated. When you move slowly, they kind of seem to ignore you. I mean, you'll still hear the sounds and such, but it doesn't look like it doesn't sound like you're getting them riled up. You will see that the next room, it goes about 10 feet, and then it kind of opens up into a circle, and it looks like there's a shaft there going up and down. Open shaft. Tommaso, are you following Rook?
Slowly. Move slowly.
I will take his advice and I will slowly follow him through.
Okay. What about you three? Kathak, Cochinelle, Black Dog?
Sounds like a good plan.
We take our cue from the thief.
Okay.
Yep.
And your NPC, Aldebin, will also move cautiously. He kind of keeps pace, keeps himself in the middle, soft, squishy center, that kind of thing.
Sure.
Scott, you will get to this this hallway. As soon as you move out of the room, you stop hearing the bees. The hallway remains that kind of same white, maybe darkens a little bit, and it goes down about 20, 25 feet, and it opens into a shaft that you guess is about 30 feet across. And it seems to go down quite a ways, circular, and up quite a ways, circular. But let me kind of
Can I see the sky up?
No. It actually gets dark up above. Let me quickly here kind of draw something if I can. Give me 1 second to kind of do a draw. So take me a second here. So I'm going to kind of switch maps here so I can show you. So I'm back here at this map where we were kind of sketching things out before.
Leave it alone, Carl.
I forgot about that.
Yep, we'll just get rid of that. There we go.
Oh!
So looking down, Scott, as you kind of look at this, it's about 30 feet across, you can see that there are stone blocks at different levels, some of them coming out of the walls, some of them hanging there in sort of the middle of the shaft, and they kind of go down in the distance. So like this one might be like 10 feet below you, and this one might be like 30 feet, and so on.
So it's
We're
like
in
a
a platform.
platforming.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Hey, it's a me, Thomas Dog.
Nice.
Where are the coins that we have to hit?
Well, I mean, it's up in the darkness above. You might want to just take a leap of faith up there and hope.
Yeah, maybe you'll hit your head on on a treasure
A mushroom.
square.
You wouldn't hit your head on a mushroom,
Mushroom.
Scott. You would hit your head on a box, and the mushroom would come out.
Yes.
Scrub.
What's the closest?
Noob.
Now, are these boxes actually floating in midair, or are they descending?
From keep in mind you're looking down from above, but even at the angles and you can see some down, it does look like some of them, like they must be, like maybe about 2 or 3 feet thick, and some of them are definitely floating there. They don't appear to be moving, like they're not drifting.
At least
All
not
right.
yet.
I will take some time and plot a path. Basically down.
Okay. So you want to kind of hop, climb, and make your way down from here?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll jump out to the first one.
Okay.
Actually, you might want to give me a rope,
Oh,
Absolutely.
and I'll jump out to the first one just to make sure that it doesn't just fall out from underneath me when I land on it.
That seems reasonable.
okay. Why don't you make an acrobatics plus dexterity roll for me, Scott? Oh, yeah.
Put these up.
Nice. You will land, hit that thing. It doesn't give at all. And you kind of tumble there on that, kind of get yourself up. It feels very solid. You kind of put your hand around the edges of it to make sure that there's no invisible thing beside it, and but it just seems to be hanging there in midair.
Okay.
It looks to you like maybe down about 80 more feet. In the wall, it looks like there's a section that opens up. The shaft still continues after that, though.
All right. Well, how do you want to do this? Do you want? I mean, I could probably hop down, no problem. But I don't want to go by myself. How the rest of you going to get down here?
Well, I can get everyone down with the rope, and then at the end put myself on float and have someone pull the rope down to them, and then we can go to the next one. That should be relatively safe. Slow, but safe. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, I can go
It
next.
does.
If you guys want to jump, of course you're welcome to. I wouldn't want to cramp your style.
How far is that? How tall is that whole thing?
Well, but
Oh, okay.
So, from...
but I thought your levitate only went up and down.
Well, it can go sideways. I can paddle along. So if
Oh,
I'm
through the
holding
air?
onto a rope and someone pulls it, I will go and
Yeah.
follow that rope.
Right.
And
So
Carl and I are both pretty strong. We should be able to.
yeah,
match that.
you guys will still have to jump, but if you fall, I will have a rope that will catch you, so we
Yeah.
won't lose anyone. Is all I can offer. I can't set you down on anything.
Avondale, whatever his name is, Avondale goes in the middle. I can
Seems
go down
reasonable.
next, or actually, I would like to have Kathok up there
The big pit.
while he's going down.
So, having Kathok cover you guys?
Yeah, Kathok will be up. He'd be. I've been thinking Kathok will be probably the last one down. Well, last one after Cochinelle.
Yeah.
Do we need to tie the rope down?
No.
It stays. Do we have 80 feet of rope?
We don't need to go straight down 80 feet. There's different
Oh,
places
right,
to
right.
jump. See the drawing he's making?
Yeah, right. Okay.
It'll be awesome.
Okay. Yeah. Until it falls.
So what are these walls made out of?
They still look like, as you kind of reach around and touch the interior of this cylinder, it seems to be that same sort of white stone that has a kind of an odd organic feeling to it, like it's a little bit clammy.
Because I can use my walk on walls magic item to maybe walk down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to use that while we don't need it? I mean, I would definitely be.
It's a once per use, once per whatever before. You know, you
Daily?
can only you can refresh it whenever. Yeah, it's not like I can always use it a lot.
Right. Here's a
Might
recharge.
be, yeah.
Yeah.
It might be handy if we have to go back up, though.
Yeah, and it also might be handy if a thing collapses while we're in the middle of it.
Yeah, so maybe I'll hang on to using it when we go up.
Okay. So, Scott, you want to make your way down? Rope attached?
Yep.
Okay. Acrobatics is your forte, so let's have you make.
I think we're all going to have to go down.
Oh yeah, I'm going
to the next one, and then I mean not one at a time, but all of us together. You know, from slab to slab.
Okay. So in that case, why doesn't everybody make a dexterity plus your appropriate jumping balance background?
I think I should go. I think I should go first, though.
Well, yeah, but you don't have that. You don't have a rope that's long enough, and you can't get it back up to us.
Well, you hold on to it up here, and I'll hold onto a thing, and I'll just take it down with me.
We don't have an 80-foot long rope, do we?
Going
I
one
assume you have
platform at a time.
your adventures. You always have it 100 feet of rope.
Oh, 80.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm thinking 80 yards or something like that.
Okay.
Okay. I guess 80 feet is not that far. Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
50
80 foot.
foot
Yeah,
line.
that's right. I would
It's
rather have-
far enough to kill you, but it's not that far
Yeah.
for a piece of rope. For a
Yeah,
piece of
okay.
adventure
Okay.
rope.
In which case, Scott.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to go down first, just because
No, that's
if
fine.
something,
I get it now.
if something
My brain works.
if something changes midway, like they start moving or something like that, and we're all, sitting on packed together on one, it could be bad.
Yeah, no, that's better. My idea was dumb.
Okay, so Scott, let's have you make that roll.
Ugh. 18.
So.
Kathak, shoot an arrow with a rope into him.
Scott.
Is this a trap?
About. You're just about down to the bottom, and when you kind of make that last jump, again, you're having to gauge from above to make these leaps down, and some of them are a little bit further, and you will hit and turn your ankle for about 12 points.
Ouch!
Oh my god. Do you mean he ripped off his foot? What?
He essentially hits and twists his ankle when he lands.
Ouch. 12 points of damage?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that-
you'll hear the kind of
Wow.
crack as it hits.
You rolled a 3.
Yeah, you did roll a 3, that's true.
Still 19.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll go
I'll,
next.
Hang on, he's not done yet.
No, okay. And the
I'll
mouth.
spend a moment to sort of
weep.
No,
massage my ankle.
the automatons come out and start
Do
tearing
you
at
want
your
to
legs.
take a recovery?
Yes, I'll take a precious recovery.
Okay, why don't you roll for your recovery?
Precious.
No, that wasn't what I wanted to do. God. Come on, game.
That's okay.
Get this back.
now the next sort of jump over is again a little more difficult because you're jumping actually to get through the doorway.
Oh. Because we don't want to land on the bottom.
Right. You can't see the bottom actually, Scott. It seems to continue on. There are a few stones, more of these stones below you.
Oh,
but those
that's
seem
why
to
it's red. Okay,
Yeah,
now I get it. My
it
brain
seems
works.
to spread out further down.
All right, I will continue on.
Okay.
Undaunted.
Simple roll, DC 20 on this.
Wrapping my angle.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Do you have
Nice
any
knowing
kind
you,
of
Scott.
reroll?
What's that?
Do you have any kind of reroll? Do you delete
Unless
things?
this counts as a trap.
I don't think this counts as a trap. This is an athletics check here, sir.
A good one.
Scott.
So, do you want to join a party of adventurers?
You
'Cause
will
we could sure use a thief.
you will do the jump, Scott.
As a matter of fact, we have an opening.
And again, this place is disorienting. It throws off your perceptions, your gauge of distance, and you will do that jump. And even as you're jumping, you're like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna miss this one," and you'll kind of brace yourself and hit against it, and then there'll be a thing where you kind of fly off from the edge of it, and that jerk that you take on the rope. Do you want to just? Do you want me to do damage to you, or do you want to burn a recovery?
Let's see. Hold on a minute. Do I have any?
You want to re-roll your character, or do you want to recovery?
Do I have any items?
I think we need to.
No. I'll burn. Let's see. Wait. Where's my? Move my little icon. I'll burn a recovery.
Okay. So you'll kind of catch yourself and brace against that, and it knocks the wind out of you. You will have to kind of swing over and pull yourself up on the rope to be able to kind of swing into this doorway. And you will see that it connects to another hallway that kind of opens up wider. But that doesn't seem to activate anything. It doesn't seem like there's any traps here when you kind of get through and brace yourself against the wall here. Okay?
Okay.
So imagine now that we've got, if you want, let me draw this sort of freehand, and we'll do this in here. That you guys have a rope kind of running down between.
Sort of a zip line, except for that sort of head smack that you'd make at the one blue block midway down.
Yeah.
So don't you?
So who wants to go next?
Okay, so is this securely tied at the top?
Well,
It is held by Cochinelle's magic up at the top,
yes.
Okay.
but not at the bottom.
Okay. So. Okay, not at the bottom. So you're just trying to stabilize it and get
Exactly. I've got all of my.
Okay.
You
So
can
what
consider it like tied around whatever, but it's
That's fine.
it's
Scott,
held.
what's your
magic.
strength bonus?
0.
Okay.
Okay, so it probably needs to be me next because I'm the strongest and a lot lighter than Tommaso.
Okay.
Unless. Okay.
So Scott.
And after
Carl?
me, then it's going to be Abdabel.
Okay.
Or Abdabel. I'm like, are you good with that, Abdabel? Abadab.
How many ways can we mispronounce his name?
He says, "Fine, Lord Dog.
Aldeba.
Call me Aldebaran."
You can call me Ray. You can call me Albadan.
Aldebin. Sorry.
Hey.
Albadan. You can call
Okay,
me
so what do I?
Albadan.
Am I making a strength or
So
or
we'll have this as a strength roll.
strength roll?
DC 20.
28.
Okay.
That's how it's done, bitch.
So there is that sort of jump using
Hurt
the
your
rope to
ankle?
get it.
I get
You
down
saw
there faster
nothing.
than he gets down there.
And now for the kind of getting in the doorway, the more difficult sort of slide down.
Is that a dexterity?
Yeah. Just don't roll a 1. Oh, look at that. So you will slide down in and lock yourself into place there. Carl, are you going to
I
now...
almost land on his ankle just for fun.
Are you going to now serve as the anchor on this end?
Yeah, say, little boy, you okay now? God.
Okay. So,
Carries all through this cylinder.
so here is the thing. The DC
There's
is
nothing
now...
better than hanging with dog.
The DC is now 15.
I'm just thankful we're not on a boat.
Or we
And
would have
because of
flipped
me,
it.
you're not on one.
You don't understand. You're on this boat with me.
Not anymore, York. Sploosh.
Okay, Car. Who wants to go next? It's going to be a...
Alderaan.
Okay.
Alderaan.
So it's a strength check followed by a dex check. He
Is that
just
a moon or is that a dog?
so as long as he doesn't roll a 1. Yeah,
That
he
was
probably
obscure
smacks
joke,
himself
man.
on that last part there.
God, you thieves. Do you guys... do you want to go to thieving school again? God almighty.
They're just a little freaked out about the magic rope. That's so. Aren't used to something that helps them along.
Yeah, I guess
Kind of wipes the blood off his face where he cracked his teeth against the concrete there.
Ouch! 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 Ouch!
Yeah, go over there with the other loot.
Oh,
God.
He looks at you, Scott.
now I'll make some shadow.
Do you make the universal hand gesture for kill the orc? All right.
Why I get on this game?
Who is next?
Think that's me. So it's strength and then dex, you
Strength
said?
and then dex. DC of only
All right.
15.
All right, let's do the strength first.
All right.
God. Hey, lose some weight.
So
Jeez.
Matt, 15 points of damage as you get on and you kind of go to clamber and you slip and you come down and probably catch your elbow on one of these stones and crack and feel your shoulder pop.
Ow!
Jesus Christ.
Things pop. It happens.
You guys duck out of the way from the spray down from him from various pustules. And then a dexterity check.
All right, so that would then be, where's my roller? Plus level.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm falling off. Oh my God.
He comes down on that next part, and it comes down even faster.
Oh wow!
So take 14 points. And
All right.
kind of smash, you got grab onto him as he comes through on that.
If you need to.
Yeah, as a plate mail
Yeah.
zip line dummy.
The sound carries.
Oh no!
All right, who's next? Ben or Cochinelle?
I thought I was going to go last since I'll just hover down.
Okay, because you have your hover round. Okay,
Yep,
so
exactly.
Ben.
All right. I guess I make my way down.
Okay, so what's your appropriate background for this?
Recon, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
The
First one plus your dexterity.
dex. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Actually, strength
Huh?
for the
What?
first.
What?
Strength for the first one.
Oh, strength for the first one, plus my background.
Yep. Just don't roll a 1.
Okay.
Okay. So you come down a little bit faster than you'd like on that first one and take 6 points.
Ouch.
And the next
Wait,
one.
did we heal between?
Sessions? No.
Oh.
Has anyone died yet?
I was very
Kathak's
wounded.
trying.
I was very wounded at that last session.
Would you like to take a recovery right now?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Why don't you roll your recovery? Mark it off and roll
Close
it.
trading our recovery.
I don't know
Like
what
we're
you're
not-
talking about.
Like we're not on.
Back.
Okay.
It's your level 5d8, level 5d8 plus 1, right? Or
I think so.
okay, that's better.
Okay.
And you said I took how many? Minus 6, right?
You took 6 points on that hit.
Gotcha.
Ow.
Then my dex, right?
Now it's going to be a dex check plus your recon background.
Alright, great.
You will take 12 points on that.
Oh man.
We are
There went
not good at this.
There went that
You
It's
recovery.
are not
it's
good
like
at
I've
this.
kept so that you don't die, but
See,
you guys are
not
trying
so
to
easy,
get.
is it?
What did he say?
Not
See,
so
not
easy.
so easy, is it?
So, Black
But
Dog.
he critical missed and said, "It's easy, just jump."
Koshino, you float down?
Yeah.
Okay. Mark off your utility.
Okay.
Koshino hovers down and brings the rope with her.
Should I make a roll for coiling it?
No. Well, I'd love for you to make a roll.
No. I was kidding. I'm being sarcastic. I could coil
We
it.
could roll master it.
Yeah, we
You
could
could
roll
choke
master it
yourself
into-
on the rope.
Exactly. End up tying it into a noose and then.
Scott, you kind of move ahead. Check out this next room. You will see the room goes back to that sort of reddish look. The room is kind of sort of circular, but the walls are kind of uneven. There are two features here that will strike you. There's another set of doorways across. There's some alcoves in here. There's cracks in the ceiling. And it looks like there's something dripping down out of it. And there are a
Is it
couple of
honey?
and then there are a couple of piles of looks like metal and stuff laying in a couple spots on the ground. You don't see any sort of conventional traps around.
So, try and take a look at what this is dripping on the floor here.
Okay. It looks like it's kind of a oily substance. It drips out from the crack in the ceiling. You'll see it hit, and it kind of roils on the floor and then evaporates.
Does it leave a stain on the floor, or does it pit the floor, or
Nope, doesn't seem to have any kind of effect there.
does it look to be the same stuff that the cubes are made out of?
No?
It's not.
I-
What are these piles?
I will have you make your sort of traps roll for me, Scott.
Is this detecting?
Yep.
23.
You kind of have it moved from this hallway on in, but you kind of look and you will kind of sniff, and it seems to you that the evaporation has created some kind of gas up in the upper half of the room. Like whatever this substance is, it kind of evaporates and becomes some kind of invisible vapor cloud hanging in
And
the...
how high is the ceiling?
So the room's about it's about 10 feet high, so about from about 5 feet on up.
All right. Well, then I'll basically crouch down low
Okay.
and make my way over to one of these. Well, I'll check the out if there's an alcove near the door first. I'll check that out.
Okay. It looks like there are like 4 alcoves in here. you'll take a look in the first one, and you see that it looks like there's some shelving in there, and it looks like there's some stuff sitting on it. Do you
What
want to
kind
look
of stuff?
closer?
Yes, of course I'll look closer.
Okay.
Not going to touch anything, but I'll look closer.
Okay. You will see that it looks like there's some, maybe like tools or something made out of the same material the walls are made of. It's hard to tell. You're not sure what it is, but you will see something that looks like a cup, a conventional, simple metal cup, not ornate, not tarnished.
That seems a little bit odd. Maybe this was a kitchen or something before it got Torrentstal. And I mean, does it look like a simple cup a monk might use? Basically, no frills.
No, it's a metal cup. Monks would probably have something made of ceramic or clay, and it's pretty finely forged.
Well, the thief in me demands that I make sure the alcove isn't trapped, and then take the cup.
Okay, you will pocket the cup. So you guys will see Scott move into the room. He's mentioned to you about the gas. He goes over and checks out the first alcove. Rook, you're next in line. What are you doing? Waiting on Scott to finish checking?
Dog, you mean?
Dog. Sorry, dog.
Yeah.
Okay. Holding everybody back.
He's got a cup. Wasn't there a cup?
Oh yeah, that was a
Well-
ritual cup that Matt has. That's a symbol of his
Okay,
gun.
I guess that's what I'm thinking of.
Scott, dog holds people back. You'll check the piles that I described before. They look like that lantern that you guys found in the other dungeon. Remember the lantern with the place to put the crystals in? Looks like a couple of those that are broken. Why don't you make a wisdom check for me?
Broken deliberately, or
They're broken into pieces.
with just a wisdom check?
Yep.
So that would just be level
Chinese lantern with brain inside.
14.
Okay. That's basically what you see. Do you want to check out the other alcoves?
Yep.
Okay.
Any bits of the crystals or anything on the floor?
No, you'll see some of that powder.
All right.
So Scott, let me quickly do that. And that. Okay. You will see there's more sort of junk on one of the shelves. You'll find what looks like a set of cards. You see they're kind of splayed out. You kind of look at them. They don't look like anything you've ever seen before. They actually have images on them, pictures, very nicely drawn. Looks like of different creatures. You can see a couple of them are kind of turned upside down, and it looks like on the back there's text, but you don't recognize the writing.
All right. I don't know if this will summon creatures or do something weird, but I will pocket it.
Gather them up and put them in your pocket.
Yep.
Okay. Check out another alcove. More stuff in there. You will see, sort of sitting on the floor underneath the shelf, it looks like there's a cat. Mummified. Looks like it's desiccated, and it's wearing a little garment.
Oh.
Like someone
It's nasty.
has created some sort of shirt for it.
All right, you're not going to believe this, guys. Someone had a pet cat dressed him up in a shirt, and left him in this alcove to be mummified. That's just nasty.
I like
Does that sound familiar at all?
I
Nope.
like.
And Scott will pocket the cat.
Well,
I would like to
I guess
think
we
so.
could move into the room and.
Okay.
and
There's
use
there's
just
one
the
more
search.
alcove that Rook hasn't examined. Do you wish to check that out, Black Dog?
I personally don't give a damn.
Okay.
I'll let him check out. We'll just look at the other stuff. I mean, I'll let him check the traps and stuff.
Okay. It looks like there's just junk around in here left. Nothing else of interest on these shelves.
I'll, I guess, put on some gloves and fish out the dead cat.
Okay. You pick
Krishna,
it up.
can you
It's pretty
detect
light,
Magic?
as it is sort of desiccated and mummified.
Sorry, Fluffy.
It's a cat of like a house cat, not a human with cat face or something
Nope.
like that.
Looks like a little tabby cat, orange fur.
So it's not like the Empress's cat or someone's.
No.
And I'll check
And
the last
what's the
alcove.
little shirt look like?
Waksha.
It actually has a kind of almost a uniform look to it, with epaulets and little designs on the front.
Oh man, that's awesome. General Cat.
Could be.
General
General
Mao.
Whiskers.
Yes.
Do you want it, Cojonel?
Oh sure. Looks like time has preserved him. I can respect that.
I will hand the cat to Cojonel.
Is anyone checking the last alcove, or are we leaving that for Scott?
I'll check the last.
Okay. Scott, in the last alcove, you will find two things. The first thing is you'll see there's a bracelet made of like metal segments that are welded together but are flexible. And there's a little tiny bell attached to it. And then the other thing you'll see is what looks like some sort of oddly marked up sort of talisman. It's got a thing to put around your neck and has this weird symbol with kind of inlaid metal and different colors kind of painted on it.
Huh, nothing in this one.
So he picks it all up.
Do you
Yes, I will
scoop
pick
it
it
up
up.
like you're playing Diablo with Sherry?
Yes.
Damn it! He's got one of those little robot hoovers. Oh. He
We can
did,
divvy it out
too.
later.
So
The bracelet.
Okay.
Sure.
I gave you the cat.
Thanks.
Whiskas.
Whiskers.
So I assume you guys will do the detect magic kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
just so we have this clarified. The cup, the bracelet, and the talisman are all magic.
Cup, bracelet, and talisman, but not the cat.
Not the cat and not the cards.
Oh. What do the cards have on them?
You guys kind of flip through them. They're about 80 some cards.
Like a tarot?
Each of them has like a picture of a creature. You can actually see that there's text at the bottom of the picture.
They're collectibles.
You'll see the text repeats at the top of the back, and then there's some other text on the back of it.
It says, this one says strength 3, hits 4.
All
Ooh.
right.
It's a rare.
Do I recognize any of the creatures?
Are any
Yeah,
of them,
actually,
like,
probably you will
foil?
recognize a couple of monsters.
Okay, so there's monsters.
Are there any gelatinous cubes in here?
No.
That's
Or
pretty
how about-
cool.
How
Do
about
we
the
have-
crab
we-
creatures?
Do we have any? Do we want to go through what the cup,
No.
talisman, and bracelet do now?
Sure.
I don't
In
know
case
how
it's the thing that will save our life.
Now, if I were a horrible GM, I could then make you do all kinds of rolls and things like that. So let's pretend I did that.
Okay.
Okay, that you
Because
guys
are a horrible GM.
do the whole testing process and stuff. You will
Well, I
find.
mean, if that's going to take a lot of time, then we don't have to do that.
Right. Well, let me just tell you what goes on, if you want to find out. This is pretty easy. When you put liquid in the cup, it immediately boils.
Boils. That's cool.
Okay. However, if you put something solid in, It doesn't seem
Yeah.
to change the temperature of that at all.
Okay, so it's liquid only.
That could be used as, I mean,
Yeah, I know. You could do all kinds of things with it,
Or if you
like
put
run a
something
steam engine.
liquid
But
in-
we don't have that
no,
technology.
I'm talking about throw it in somebody's face. I mean,
Oh well, that's I guess
Uh,
also.
Is the outside of the cup hot when you do that?
Nope.
What if you put like something in with the liquid? Does it still boil?
It will still boil, yeah.
okay. Anyways,
Uh,
bracelet.
So you could murder a goldfish that way.
the bracelet, when you hit the little bell,
Uh huh.
it goes gong, and that
Ow,
will
ow.
carry.
Awesome. Bell loud. Okay.
And lastly, the talisman is actually a magic item.
Okay.
Its effect is that when you're wearing it, you can sacrifice recoveries to gain bonus on a save check.
On a single save check or
On a single
like
save check until you recharge it.
And so like for every recovery you sacrifice you get +1?
That
or
is
something
correct.
Like that? That's a pricey. Okay.
Okay?
Well, when that loud gong goes out, do we attract any attention?
You might.
Well, let's start moving.
Okay. You guys will move forward and kind of come out. Scott, you'll feel kind of the change in the air pressure ahead, and you will see that clearly the room opens up again. And you will see that there is a... How do I want to describe this? There is a set of sort of bridges from where you're at here coming out into this big open room that kind of has blue and orange light going in it. You will see that the bridges have connected together. There's kind of a circular structure in the center of this room. Looks like there are different crystals and places on this sort of complex and intertwining area of bridges. And that seems to go across to another sort of exit on the far side. It's maybe the things themselves, gosh, maybe about 100, 120 feet across, maybe larger.
Okay. What seems to be the? There are bridges they can cross to reach the other side.
Yeah, actually, let me see. I've got a picture of this. Hang on. Let me quickly pull that picture up for you. Where are we on? We're over here. Let me shrink it. Whoop. Let me copy, delete, paste. There you go. That's what it looks like. So you guys are kind of
Oh, wow.
coming in from this spot over here on the
Oh,
So what's different about the stuff in pink than the stuff in blue?
it looks just like the color.
Look.
The lighting
Really?
and the color, yeah.
So it's not like lava on one side and then ice on the other?
No, it looks sort of like that, but that seems to be the crystals all have the same sort of shape and texture from where you're looking here.
Uh-huh. And there's little built stairways.
Yeah, actually, I can make this bigger for you guys.
So this is like a ritual area of some sort. Or a crafting area.
Make your way across.
Yeah, I
Can we see
guess.
what the purpose is?
Not sure.
We got a couple
Do
of
we? I mean,
pools.
can we see clearly around here that there's nobody moving around, or what?
At least at the moment, you won't see anybody moving around.
I mean, what's the scale? I mean, how wide are these paths?
Here, let me. I think I can actually make the scale a little bit better for you here. Let me. Hope I do that right. 1 second.
So these crystals here, how tall are they?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, I've got the map tool. Takes me a bit to do this. Okay. So what I want is. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. Okay, so we're at the big map here. So, let me then. Da, 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 da. So, you guys are about twice as big as you ought to be on this map here.
Okay, so this is only 300 foot long, something like that.
Yeah, you guys kind of fit on that walkway at the end.
Okay, so the walkway.
I guess I would go around the edge of the room rather
Yeah,
than straight
that's what
down the middle.
To
Right,
the
that's
left
what-
or the right?
How about to the southern road?
Okay. All right. So,
That would be what, right side?
yep.
Yeah, pink side.
I mean, we can't see, and we'll have Rook or Kathak can start taking some reconnaissance. Does he see anybody hiding, moving around? Did any of us see anybody?
Not right this second until
Uh-huh.
Rook, like the shadows themselves.
Can I easily run in front of Rook if I need to?
yes.
Okay.
They're pretty wide. It's not exactly a scale, so your figures kind of represent a relative space here. I need to go and grab something, though. Hang on a second.
Oh, that sounds good. Yay!
Sorry. Ah, come on. And let me check my sheet here. Okay. Oh, am I doing something right, Lilia?
Puffers!
I'll show you what they look like in just 1 second.
Whipper and worm.
So let me grab the pictures to show you guys what these things look like. They are, in fact, as they are depicted, gray. So let me show you the pic. That's what the puffers look like.
Oh, they look like puffer fish.
That's what the
Oh, so cute!
what the whipper looks like is the big thing. The worms appear to be on the ground. The puffers and the whipper are both flying.
Okay.
The whipper is probably about 16, 17 feet long.
Okay. Does it look like it's covered with crystals?
No, it looks like it is weirdly grayish, sort of in black and white, and it is kind of turning to come face at you. The worms themselves do look like they are more have sort of a crystalline skin, but
Okay.
again in that gray.
Oh God, there's tons of them.
Okay.
Can I have everyone roll initiative, please?
Sure.
And let me.
That's actually 24.
Don't forget humans roll twice.
I did. And I got 17 is my highest.
Okay.
13 for me.
I don't think I'm gonna do better, but I might as well try. Nope.
Oh.
So we're gonna go with the 23.
Okay. You guys can type those into the thing there. So that would be.
Damn it.
These guys have noticed us, or
They have appeared and are flexing around, clearly here to track, in the sense that the whipper rises up and looks and kind of turns to face your direction.
Okay, so this area here.
Hang on,
like
can you
it's
give me just 1 second, Carl?
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
that's okay. Just let me get all the initiatives in here. And all right, so Carl, I'll be glad to answer that question you had now.
Okay, so this place up here looks like a pretty good defensive position that we might have some cover.
Can you ping what you're talking about for me?
I'm sorry, where we're at.
Yeah, so it's a walkway around. It looks like there's some ways down. There are some bracers. There are some sort of machine things. The whipper is flying.
That's fine.
Okay.
But we would still have some cover from, unless he had to get close. He'd have to get close.
Yes.
Okay. Then I am going to.
I am going to now go to initiative.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's fine. I just want to answer your questions before I get rolling here. It will appear, and it will move over. Let me think now. It is going to move this way. It will move over that way, kind of swims in the air over, and it will take a swing at high or low, Sherry?
Low,
Okay.
because that's how I roll.
Okay. Well, then you got what you wanted. So, Ben, had you taken another recovery, Ben, before this?
I took a recovery, yeah.
Did you want to take another one before we go to this combat?
Let me see. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's have you do that before I make my attack on you.
Alright, so that puts me at 33. Let me just see. What's my max hit points? 2. Okay, alright.
Okay. What is your AC, Ben?
17.
Okay. It will just miss, and the whip swings out, and it probably shatters some of the stone right nearby you when it does that. Black
Nice.
dog.
So that means the stone is pretty fragile, or does that mean his whip is pretty strong?
It's pretty strong.
Okay. Okay, can I get to him and attack him?
Yeah, you could move down these steps and move over to the area that he is floating above and strike at him if you wished.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay?
I'll say, everybody, let's make up a defensive position here. You see that?
No,
Protect-
do it again.
Maybe I didn't.
Do your ping.
There we go. It's that one.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah, sure.
And get the spellcast, get Cushnell and Cathok there, and everybody else defend them, and just keep here and take them down. Okay, and I'll hit Whipper.
Okay. Carl, his AC is at 22, sir.
20 plus.
Nice. Right away, doing the hits. Carl, roll your damage.
Yeah, don't do that. 5, 10 plus 7.
21 points
Crappy.
of damage.
21.
That was crappy. All right. Tommaso on 23.
All right. First thing I'm going to do is use a recovery. So let's roll that.
Okay.
And
That's
how did
pretty
that
good.
go? Let's see. That is what? 30 plus 10, 40. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will do a. I guess I will cast a javelin of flies on the Whipper.
Okay.
So that is. I think I'll remember this thing by now. I use this damn thing every game. Wisdom plus level versus PD
PD of 20.
for 66 damage. So. Where you roller? Wisdom plus level 9. So that hits
Okay.
for 66. Okay, is there any other bonuses on that?
And I have to correct
Plus
myself.
wisdom of holy damage.
There's only one worm. I apologize. I just realized that. I got overexcited there.
Well, you had all those tokens, so
I
you gotta
know.
keep going.
29, huh? That's not bad. All right. Cochinelle, you'll see Black Dog wind up and come down and cut into this thing, and then the flies swarm out from Tommaso's invocation. It's your turn.
Okay, I've seen this thing strike and be struck. Once. I've struck once and then was struck twice.
Uh-huh.
What is the nature of its being?
It does look. It gives like flesh. It doesn't look like it's made of stone or metal or anything else like that. It's more that the cast of its skin is that sort of like out of a black and white movie.
Like it's been drained of color?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't get any sense that it's like half here or anything like that.
No, it does seem fully physically present.
And it doesn't seem to be crystalline at all.
No.
Okay, then. What I will do is just to get a sense of how it reacts to magic is I will do my default. So I'm going to do the quick cast of freeze
Okay.
and then cast my at-will ray of frost.
Okay. Roll to hit.
And that's versus PD.
PD 20.
Okay, let's see if I can actually do this. So
Nope.
that's that.
Nope.
And then
Nope. Fumble liar.
nope, I miss.
Okay.
So essentially on miss it takes 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Sorry guys.
All right. Rook on 16.
To the shadows I go.
The closest thing is the thing, and its MD is 19.
Damn it. Oh. Ow!
Do you want to take that reroll?
I don't get a reroll for that.
Oh, that's right. Do you want to take your
so
standard action?
Has anyone actually attacked this Whipper yet? Or is it too high in the air? Or
No, Black Dog has struck at it.
Black Dog hit it,
Yeah.
and so did Tommaso.
Then I will move over and take a swing at it too.
Okay. AC of 22, Scott.
So
Be right back.
Okay. That will hit.
Man, dude, does my weapon crit on a 19 and 20 or just a 20?
Just a 20.
Oh man.
I don't
Alright.
think it crits on anything else.
Oh, you have to probably buy something for that.
Yep.
Black Dog is actually engaged. Right?
Yes, so you get the bonus. 39. Nice hit. That will stagger it, Scott. Kind of seems to rear back from that. The worm on 14 will move from far away to nearby. It kind of rolls up these stairs and then comes down the middle and rolls past this crystal over to this side here. And then the puffers.
Now, does it move unnaturally?
It rolls across the ground,
Uh-huh.
kind of like a great worm.
Okay.
As
But
it's,
not like it. Okay. But not like it's teleported or
No,
anything.
definitely not. No, it certainly
Okay.
moves across there. And the puffers will move from far away to
Back.
nearby.
Yikes.
And then Kathak on 0.
All right.
You got a 0?
I'm gonna declare these puffer dudes as my targets.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna shoot to the crowd. Is this like I'm kind of seeing down on these guys, right?
Yeah, it looks like you're up a little bit. Yep.
All right. Okay. So I just got my camera. All right. So
All right. Their AC is a 19.
I feel I use my double shot, huh? Oh yeah. I guess I'll take a double shot.
Okay.
I think it's a 9, right? Nine. Okay. And double shot. Okay. Right.
Need to hit 19.
Ooh.
That will miss. Do you want to take
I'll
your
take
reroll?
a reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take my reroll.
That increases your critical range again.
Yep. Oh.
So
wait,
that will
sorry.
just hit.
Right.
Do you want to
Now,
resolve
crit the
that?
die has to be like whatever high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you want to resolve your second shot, or do you want to resolve the damage on this first?
I'll do the damage on this. first.
Okay. And you're using double shot, so it's d6s.
Mm-hmm. Is it 5d6? I think it's right. 5d6. Oh wait, plus 10. Add 10 to that, so that's 25.
Add 10 to that, so 25. So you will hit one of these pufferfish, and it will explode from your arrow indentations, and you'll see it also hits another one of the fish with your arrows. Your second shot will also
Same.
hit.
35.
35, okay. That, so you will kill that one and that one and do some damage to the next one. You'll see Kathak roll out, pulls out his arrows and lets loose with a barrage that takes down 3 of these 8 great puffer things that will collapse.
Okay.
Anything awful happen when they die? They don't explode?
No.
Okay.
Maybe some of the spines that they have in them that are tripped with venom sort of fall out.
Okay.
So now we're on
I didn't see. What did this worm do?
It rolled over to get nearby rather than being
Oh, so
far
it's
away.
it's on ground.
Yes.
Good.
So their spines are
Weren't there
dripping.
2 worms?
As I mentioned, I miscalculated on it. It's just one.
Oh, okay.
You guys will see
Oh,
another.
but there's 2 whippers.
You'll see another whipper appear. Whoop, at the top of this round.
We need to shut that thing.
Black dog on 24.
They don't go first.
Oh yeah. Actually, this one does go first.
I mean,
Since
like-
whipper has been
Thanks. Black
it will
dog.
use its lacerate. Okay. Which
Lacerate.
means it'll do. Let's see. 2, 2, 1. It'll do 1 shot on everybody and 2 shots on Carl.
Mm.
Okay. So Carl.
22.
22
AC.
is your AC. Okay. So first one will miss. Second one will hit. You are going to take 36. Scott, what is yours?
My armor class is 17.
You will take 36.
Hold on, wait.
Oh. Is it higher?
No, but I'm looking to see if
I'm going to take the roll with the blow.
well, you pretty much have to, but I want to see if my
Why don't I come back to you while I do the other attacks?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Tommaso, on you, what's your AC?
24.
That will miss. Sherry, what's your AC?
My AC is, oh boy. Sorry. 20.
That will hit. You'll take 36.
Wag.
And Ben, what's your AC?
17.
Okay. You'll take 36.
Holy shit.
okay, I do want to wait. Let's see.
Wizard is about to die. It's out for blood tonight.
I do want to use activate my spiky bastard.
Okay.
So on an odd attack roll, which he did, he'll take 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I will use my roll with the blow to
And Spiky Bastard's not a quick action? Just happens?
It is a quick action.
Okay. And then is the roll with the blow just eats momentum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll with the blow eats my momentum.
Okay. Black Dog on 24.
It's an interrupt action.
You will see the thing scream when it take all that damage, and then it will spin around. And rather than striking which one of these tentacles, it lashes out in all directions and lacerates as it spins around there. You'll see it kind of come to a stop exhausted. Clearly a technique it cannot use constantly.
Especially when you did.
AC of 22, escalation die 1, Carl.
Hit it.
Okay.
27.
That will hit. All right. Roll your damage, sir. Don't forget, potions and other things are quick actions to activate. Oils and unguents.
45.
Nice. This thing is very badly injured. Almost down. Tommaso.
Alright, so almost everybody kind of took a beating last turn, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
I'm
so
going
much
to
me.
cast Mighty Healing using my protection domain. So everybody gets to take a recovery.
Okay.
It costs
Okay.
you a recovery, but add 10 to the result.
Okay.
Okay. That's
What?
awesome.
It cost me a terrible spell. I
So
couldn't take it.
roll your standard recovery and get to add plus 10 to the result, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's that plus minus the 6, so 33 plus 18, so
35.
What's the recovery again? I think
50,
I
51.
think mine My recovery is out of date.
It should be 5 dice, I believe.
What's the plus though? Is this based on your constitution or something?
Let me grab the 13th age book, which I have across the room from me. Hang on a second.
Yeah, it's just your strict. Well, mine is. It depends on your class, actually.
Oh.
I can look it up, Sander. Sander, I got it. You can keep running. I'll tell him what it is.
Your recovery dice is 1d8 times your level plus your constitution modifier.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I thought it was. Okay.
All right.
So that was my one action, and now I can, I guess, move.
Okay.
How foolish am I feeling? The answer is usually very, but no, I'm not. I'm going to stand my ground here,
Okay.
as if the worm was George Zimmerman.
The worm pulls his hoodie up. All
Does he
right.
get? Is it only barbarians who get double their recovery bonus or their constitution bonus and recovery at 5th level?
I think that's why I said it depends on your race or class.
Yeah, it might be the class thing. I think recoveries don't go up. I think the only thing that goes up at your
Mine. I don't know if everybody else does.
Mine just is
Oh no!
8 times
sorry.
level plus combat.
No, at champion level you add twice your constitution modifier.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I get to add another 3 points to my recovery.
Yes.
Recovery.
So
Yay.
then you get to increase that by another 1.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So you stand your ground. Cochineal on 17.
All right, I am going to try to hit again because I have yet to get a hit in to see how it reacts to magic. So I'm going to hit, and I'm going to fuck it up. I mean, mess it up.
It's pretty messed up.
These things are beasts. Essentially, would you like to call on your internal drive?
Oh, to get it perfect?
Yes.
To notice that I've gotten my timing completely and absolutely wrong and to correct myself?
Yeah.
Or personnel,
Certainly.
'cause
I
you
would do
also
that.
Close the portal.
Well, she's already declared her action. So.
I declared my action.
Okay.
Okay.
So essentially, you.
Oh, so there's a portal. Okay.
So you know that these things need to be killed. You need to stop them to be able to get to fight against the sirens. You will gather your reserves together, and I will give you a reroll rather than blasting Black Dog or Rook with the ice beam.
Because that would have been awesome because then they couldn't move.
Yes.
And I hit.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Okay.
From a mechanical
Did you
standpoint,
have to
I have
say
marked
that?
off Sherry's 6 roll from her icon roll.
You would find a black dog with it.
21 points.
21 points is enough to kill this thing.
And how did it react to the magic? In the sense of...
The cold and stuff, it hits it. It doesn't seem like it resists it.
Okay.
Or that it does extra special damage to it.
All right. And it didn't seem like it resisted the magic either.
No. And it will
And-
crash to the ground.
And it doesn't like turn color or take on any different property when it gets
No,
hit?
it hits with that kind of wet. Imagine a dolphin being thrown wetly at the ground. That's what it sounds
Oh, that's
Who can't relate to
horrible.
that?
Thank you,
Like
Max.
hitting a baby seal with a club.
Exactly.
You guys are horrible.
Rook,
To the shadows I go.
let's have you make that roll. MD of 19. Yes, you will go to the shadows, Scott.
Oh. We also roll my d6 here.
Okay.
Don't forget, not the
Oh, yeah,
equipment.
just in case.
Nope. Nope.
All right. 14, the worm. You'll see another one appear,
Oh.
and you will see this worm will come rolling up like a Chitaur to smash into Tommaso. Tommaso, what is your AC?
24.
That may be enough. Let's see. It will come up and try and slam into you. We'll get out of the way of it. It rears up. That was the worm. This other one appeared. That one appeared on its action. We'll mark this one with purple just to be funny.
Where's
And
Kathak 0?
Say mark this one with a nipple.
with the purple.
Oh, purple.
Purple.
Purple worm.
Were they getting around me?
Oh no, they're coming at you.
Come on, get some.
With their dreaded
I
disinfectant.
guess it doesn't really make any difference with
Dripping.
them.
They
Spines.
float. They swiftly sail the air up to you. They do seem to kind of not spend too much time over the open spots. So Carl, what is your AC?
22.
22. All right, I got 3 shots at you with a 22. Miss, and a hit. Not a natural 20. So that'll be 8 points damage.
Ouchies.
Okay.
My turn.
Kathak, what's your AC?
17.
Miss and hit. So you will take 8 points damage.
Ouch.
Kathak on 0.
0. I will, I will see what I got here. Okay, I guess I'll hit, wow. I guess I'll hit this dude here.
Okay. All right. So AC of 19, sir. Escalation die is at a 1. That will hit. Roll your damage. Ooh,
33.
nice. 33, so that will kill that one. And that one. And you put an arrow in one of them that's over by Carl. Shoot, 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 shoot. Your arrows launch out again and cut more of these down, Ben.
Nice.
On 30. The whipper.
So we haven't seen any more puffers come out of anything.
No.
Puffles.
I think we're going to see another whipper.
Okay.
The whipper will move over and will take a strike at you, Carl. What is your
Oh.
PD?
PD is 19.
It will just miss on you. Black Dog on 24.
Oh, thanks, guys, for coming to my party. Whirlwind.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll start with the first puffer.
Okay.
The
So the target are Whipper and the Puffer mass. Because they're mooks.
okay.
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 So you want to start with the Whippers?
Whipper.
The Puffer?
23.
That will hit. Let's resolve and roll that damage.
All right. 5d 10 plus 7. 39.
39. So 6 plus that, and there's 3, so 8. You will kill 2 of them. One of them still is up.
Okay. Escalation die is 2.
Escalation die is 2. Thank you. I will get that adjusted
Okay.
right now.
Now on the whipper. Oh.
That's a miss, Carl.
And I will use my lethal.
Okay. For your reroll.
Gah!
Delicious. Delicious. So tasty.
It made Lowell's night right there.
Right there, absolutely. Tommaso.
That still works for me though.
All right, everybody's doing okay in the hit points right now, I believe, right? Speak up if you're not.
I'm fine. I'm just
Good
like
to
down
go.
7.
All right, in that case, then I will take a melee attack against the worm.
Okay, the worm has an AC of 21. An escalation die is a 2. That will hit.
I hit
Um,
25 for 26.
and you do some more, right? Or is this the.
Um, no, after the first attack, I do
Okay.
more.
So you will smack into this thing. Cut into its skin. It is still up.
Unclean!
Cochinelle on 17.
What's going on with these portals? Can I destroy them by the crystals? What's the energy moving through?
They do seem like gates.
Like-
There might be some kind of mechanism there that you could try and disable.
Okay, then that's what I'm going to do is move over there as swiftly as possible.
Okay. So you're going to move. That is I'm going to say it's a faraway move unless you have some way to get across with some kind of speed boost or something.
What I have is that you see these walkways. I can at least skate down the walkway down to the south so that I'm not like in the battle there and then shoot over. So, and that's a speed boost. I go twice as fast when I'm on a smooth thing, so I can get at least a portion of it.
Okay, so let's have that
Run
be
faster.
a dexterity check. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay.
That's my best one.
Yeah, just don't fumble.
Okay.
She
Okay.
falls and impales herself on a big crystal.
It's not like
Yeah.
Let's say a pretty modest difficulty class. If you succeed, then you're able to take an action when you get there.
Crap.
Bouncity, 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 bouncity.
Yeah, I just like skate up into whatever's at the end here.
Party looking for a new mage.
So Sherry, you have two
Wizard.
choices.
Oh no, I
These light
smashed into
badly.
this column
You have
here.
you have two choices.
Yes.
You can not get there on this round,
Okay.
or you can get there but take some damage.
I will get there and take damage.
Okay. In that case,
You didn't specify how much damage.
I don't care.
you have 1,000 points.
It's worth it.
you
to
will
help
take
you
11
guys.
points of damage.
All right.
Okay, and you'll be there next round to do your investigations.
Okay.
Rook on 16.
I am going to move through the shadows and go for the blue portal and try and basically stay out of sight of this worm that just came out of it.
Okay. So with the move in shadows, you get to just go and not attack.
Well, let me see.
Yeah.
Um, return anywhere that. Remove yourself from play. At the start of your next turn, return anywhere nearby that you could move normally. Deal double damage your first rogue attack.
So you'll.
It doesn't say you can. It doesn't say you can. Yeah, stay in it. I guess.
Right. No, you have to reappear.
So can I reappear and I guess attack this worm?
Yes, you could.
Since I'm going to reappear anyway, and unless can I
You could
reappear?
and then try to make a stealth check.
Let's see. Assuming that worm will move.
Off to attack
Off,
the rest
yeah.
of your group.
Yes, that's what I'm going to try to. I mean, I could just try to kill it, but roll stealth, so like a thief.
Yep.
I'll
Just don't
use
roll
my-
a 1.
I'll use my ability that lets me use the escalation dice on that.
Yeah, just don't roll a 1.
How about a 30?
Very nice. You will hide and cower behind the crystals over there. The worm on 14. moves from far to close up to Cochonel.
Awesome.
Puffer on Black Dog will pull back and will fire a ranged attack on you. What is your PD, Carl?
It is 17.
Okay. You will take 6 points of damage and 6 points ongoing poison.
Hey, where's our NPC? Can we tap him for something?
Yeah, you guys can use the NPC for a reroll, let's say.
Now he tells me.
That's the first time you guys asked.
I said be useful, you sack of shit.
Kathak.
Get down there and help Cochonel now.
Yeah. Go take
so
on
now,
that worm all by
what is
yourself.
exactly this wall? Is it a...
So imagine that's kind of a broken wall, maybe 2 or 3 feet high. It's kind of some pillars standing out of it, so it doesn't completely block line of sight. Beyond it is
This worm,
like
is this worm attacking Cochonel?
it has moved up to engage Cochonel, yes.
Alright, I'll shoot at it.
Okay. It has an AC of 21. The escalation die is at a 2.
I will declare Lethal Hunter using my champion ability. I can declare two
Okay.
groups, 2 targets.
Absolutely.
Match. Escalation dice 2. Right.
That will hit. And your damage? Okay, so 33 points of damage. So, shook, you will pepper it with arrows there. All right. It is escalation die 3. You'll see another whipper appear.
Of course.
This whipper will go to strike at Black Dog. How much damage does it take in? Nah, not that much. It won't go for full craziness on you. Okay, so Carl, what is your AC?
Is 20.
It will miss! I can never hit you. Why can't I quit you?
That's true.
Black
Can't
Dog.
hit you.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Broke back or
I'm raging.
You're raging. Okay.
Yep. Raging Cajun.
Okay. I guarantee.
20.
Oh, I forgot to do that worm strike on Matt.
Oh my god!
Oh, that makes up for it. I won't bother to take the strike on Matt since that was such a fuck up on your part.
God.
Delicious. Carl, you are the gift that keeps on giving. Tommaso on 23.
Really?
You might be muted though, Matt. Unless you're.
Am I muted now?
No, now you're not muted.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
All right, let's. We got a worm here. I think hit point wise, everybody's still doing.
Everyone's doing fine. I
All
haven't
right.
touched you guys yet.
So,
can we get a new orc? Ours is broken.
let's do a. What is the hell is this crap?
Huh?
My character sheet is not opening now in Roll20. That's weird.
Or maybe
It's
it's
opening.
already open somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe perhaps that is it. Let's see. Let's try. Yeah, it's weird. It's like I get like a transparent bar with my name on it when I try to open my character sheet.
Oh, I had that with my dice roller for a bit.
Let's see. Do I have another?
Try closing it and reopening it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's went to
God, I
another
sound like
browser.
the service desk guy. I
Is it
apologize.
plugged in?
Exactly.
Maybe.
Okay, worth
I would like to
that
think
now.
I didn't have quite the tone of contempt. That,
That I have for most of my users.
yeah, exactly.
That will definitely hit.
That hits
All
for
right. You're
33
rolling like a
plus.
madman.
Plus
I
another
get another D6 on that. So it's. I get a bonus of that.
Ooh. It is in very bad shape, Matt. Kind of staggers back from that shot. Cochinelle.
Okay. So I want to do some damage here.
Okay.
I've got a spell called Force Salvo. It's daily. I create a number of force bolts equal to 1 plus my intelligence modifier.
Okay.
My intelligence modifier is 4.
So you have
I
5
think that
force
just-
bolts.
5 force bolts. Each of them do 7d10. And the trick with it is that I can't hit the same target twice in a row.
Okay.
I have the adventure feat, so I can go like one, back and forth
Okay.
between the worm and the whipper. I'll do that until I kill one of them, and then I'll start hitting the portal, like some of the stuff around the portal.
Okay,
That does
let's
some
see that.
damage to it.
Who do you want to start with, the whipper or the worm? Now, is that a close combat spell?
That is a range spell. So what do I need to do for that?
You'll need to make a disengage first.
Oh, that's no problem. I have the shocking grasp as a quick action.
Oh, that's right. So you can just pop out, right?
Yep.
Does that do damage when you pop?
Oh, it does like 1d6.
Okay, roll your d6.
Okay. Well, I have to hit it versus PD
Oh,
though.
okay. Versus a PD. The worm's PD is 20.
I hit it.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a
Okay.
good roll that you burned there.
Yeah, I know that I just spent on that. So here goes my 1d6. I'm very keen to find out how this is going to turn
Yeah,
out.
let's see it.
All right. I'm gonna get all my best rolls right here.
Absolutely.
2. I do 2 points of damage, but it essentially pulls away from that because
Yeah.
it really it's like a
Joy
static
buzzer?
spark.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
send it back, and then you
Huh?
pull up the force bolts. What do your battery of 5 force bolts look like, Cochinelle?
Well, let's see here. These are force. So
They look like brush strokes.
yeah, and essentially brushstrokes that mostly distort the air, but there's kind of they're actually, how a brush leaves texture on a painting?
Uh-huh.
It like leaves that texture in the air for a moment.
Okay, so are these targeting against PD or AC?
They are targeted against PD.
Okay, so both of these targets, the worm and the whipper, both have a 20 PD.
Okay, let's see.
Escalation die is a 3.
I got a 30 to hit.
Okay, so first on the worm, roll damage.
Okay, so that's a 70-10. Sorry, gotta set this up each time. 7, 10, nothing additional. Hit him for 34.
34.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be... it is staggered and almost down.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna hit the next guy.
Whipper's 20.
Okay, oh, so I have to roll to hit again?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. Then, 28.
So that will hit. Roll your damage for him.
31.
31. Are you back on the worm?
Yep, I got to switch between the two.
Okay. PD of 20. That
Got
will
it.
crit. I'm not going to
Yep.
have you roll damage because that will explode the worm.
Okay.
And
Been
your
slime.
fourth shot.
Okay. Here we go. Hit again.
Hit. And roll your damage.
48.
48. Holy cow. So 79. You've staggered the whipper with those. And your last shot, do you want to shoot the thing?
I want to shoot, yeah, the mechanism for the portal.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll for me.
To hit?
The damage roll.
Okay. 26.
Okay. So you will damage the mechanism
Okay.
partially, okay?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
You had 5?
That was 5.
That's what you have, 5? That's nice.
So
I have an intelligence of 4, and I get my int modifier plus 1 for those. But
Rook.
that's daily, so I can't do it again.
Okay. Well,
Rook.
fine.
What can I figure out about the controls of this thing?
Why don't you make your sorcery roll?
Is it like a magical trap, maybe?
I wouldn't say it's a magical trap. It's like a magical gate. I'll let you make an int roll.
Okay. These things could happen. No.
It does seem like there's crystal. I mean, you don't know how the mechanism works. You could certainly
Then I will.
try breaking it.
That might like leave it open permanently or something.
It could.
So I will call across the way to Coach Chanel and say, "What am I supposed to do?"
It has a whipper above her. There's force bolts going off on a cross. She's blasting into things. I don't think that she can hear you unless you have some a spell or something or an effect that you guys have to communicate.
Well, in that case, I am going to, I guess, try to break this thing.
Okay. Just roll me a d20, Scott.
Just a D20.
Yeah, just d20. Okay.
It is
Now
completely
roll
open.
now roll your damage.
Ready to roll. Guess I really can't sneak attack this.
So essentially, you're kind of look around. You see a set of crystals that look to you like it might be the control mechanism.
37.
37.
And you're right. It keeps it open.
You will crack it. It's coming apart. And then... Scott, you will see, even as you're doing that, a worm appear. And it actually looks like it is bleeding when it comes through. And kind of rears back, bellowing. You'll see there are cracks in it.
Aha! Breaking it seems to be good.
The puffer on 13. Black Dog, what's your PD?
It is 19.
It will just miss as it moves to close with you. Kathak on 0.
Alright.
Oh, I
How do you get
was
a
supposed to
0?
take 6 from the ongoing one
Yes.
during my turn.
And you can
wasn't
make your save. It's a 11 plus save. Kathak?
Okay.
How did he get a 0 for my
Because you didn't put your initiative in.
it? You had a 13. I thought you did it on purpose.
Yeah, no. I had a 13. Let's see. I thought I just didn't put it in. Alright. Let's see. There's a whisper, a
Stand up.
worm. How far is this worm over here?
That's probably outside your range because it's across. There's that other walkway in between, and that's actually down.
No. Alright, I'll hit this whipper here.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thanks.
And the whipper has an AC of 21.
You can do it, Kathak. I've softened it up. Hey, he hits, no problem.
No problem. Roll your damage.
$25.
25. So 25 plus 79 means it's at 104. You will sink that arrow deep into it. It is pretty badly damaged right now. And we go to 4. Top of 4, the whippers go to make their attacks.
No.
This whipper is still not badly injured enough to do its craziness. This other whipper, however, is.
Yay for me.
It will move. Let's do, Carl, the first whipper on you. What is your AC?
It is 22.
Okay. So that will do 36.
I guess that'll hit.
Okay.
Oh, 36. I'm sorry. Okay.
36
Okay.
points of damage.
Yeah, got it.
The other whipper, the one I'm going to mark in yellow, will do its once per battle lacerate attack.
Yay!
What is your AC, Sherry?
It's 20.
What is your AC, Ben?
17.
Okay. And Carl's is 22, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Nice. Okay, so Carl, first one is 72.
Ooh, that's bad. That makes me negative 18.
Ben, miss on you on both of those. Miss. So Sherry, 36.
Okay. 36.
Tommaso, you'll see Black Dog drop.
I'm just curious. Lowell, does that hit everything
No, it's
nearby?
essentially
Okay.
Nope. It's a
Just saying from the description,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
seemed
no,
like
no.
it might.
no. That's a good idea, but that's not how it's written up. So actually, let me reset this. Then descending. Now, Black Dog, you are out. So let's look at what happens when you go out, since this happens every once in a while. I have to go and check the damage. 159. It's been a while since I kicked you guys' butts. So...
That's why he's turning the pages so slowly,
Yes.
so he can savor this moment.
Okay, so you are
Negative. I'm negative 18.
negative 18, and that's not half your maximum hits, right?
My maximum hits is 108.
Okay, so you have to get to minus 54
Oh,
to
okay.
die. Okay, so Carl, you are down. So at the start of your turn, you get to roll a death save on a d20. These are hard saves. Roll. On a-
D20 total. Just it.
Just a d20. Unless you have some magic item, okay? So you take one step toward the grave, Carl.
So what's that?
That means that the fourth time you screw that up, you're dead.
Okay.
Okay? So you remain unconscious, laying there on the ground.
What happens to my sword?
What happens to your sword? Your sword will return to its tattooed shape.
Okay, instantaneously?
Yep.
Okay. Can I pull it out again if I get up?
Yeah, I don't think there's a recharge on it, so yeah.
Okay. Do I lose my berserk?
Yes.
Okay.
Tommaso on 23. His silence is striking.
Or you could be
Or
muted.
give me
I don't have my son
I know.
smashed the light on my microphone. So I apologize if you heard me chewing before.
That's okay.
Uh,
I was wondering who that was.
You just shout if that's me because if you hear chewing, it's probably me because I can't tell if I'm muted or not. What happens if I give Carl temporary hit points?
Huh. It doesn't heal him, so he'll be... If he takes extra damage, it'll go off that temporary hit points, but he won't be conscious. I think you might have muted yourself again there, Matt. Or else the audio went out for everybody. The call died again. Thank you, Skype. This is the dangers of these kinds of things. Oh. Well, we can only hope. There we go. And
Right.
that's how they all died. I think
All right.
Carl blew that one
I
out.
started the call now. So
Okay.
we have to do it.
All right, so Matt.
So I was putting a heal on Carl,
Okay.
which it looks like he's not back yet.
I think he was trying to call, so he might be have to sort out that why we're not answering. Is that him?
Nope. We've got. We're waiting on Ben, and make sure you have Ben on the call, Scott.
Hey.
Hey, Carl.
Hey.
That's a Carl. Roll
There he
recovery
is.
and add 10 to it.
Yeah, I think I lost mine. What?
Roll recovery and add 10 to it.
Oh, okay.
Scott, did you add Ben to the call?
And I'm using my recovery to fuel that.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Excellent.
7d10 plus 8 plus 10.
The kitten's trying
Okay,
to
so
reassure me
minus
that it's all going to be
3, so 56.
So
okay. That ought to help.
that puts you back positive at least.
So, Black Dog, you go. You feel that blackness cover you, that sort of shock to your system as you drop from those strikes, and then take the breath and come awake again. You don't get your action on this round, but you are not dying.
The glimpse
Okay.
of the grave is elucidating, isn't it?
I was staggered, and so I'm going to retake my... Well, no, actually I won't do that.
Okay.
Really?
All right, and then I am going to use my regular action to smack this worm again.
Okay. The worm has an AC of 21. The escalation die is a 4.
All right, so what number did I get there? Got to add 4 to that
That will hit.
for a 35.
35.
Plus 1d6.
You actually will kill it with just that straight damage, Matt. You will crush it across the face with... This is a sword, right?
Yep.
So you will cut across its mandibles, and it will drop and probably fall over the edge to kind of vanish out into the void. Cochinelle
Go
on
back
17.
from whence you came, beast.
Oh man, I got like this gorgeous line of creatures here, don't I? Shoot.
I need one of them alive.
Okay, then I'll concentrate on the portal and getting it closed down.
Okay. Why don't you make... do you want to just hit it with damage, or do you want to try and do something... make a roll based on your magic skill and wisdom?
I can try magic skill and wisdom.
Then let's have
Because
you
I'm
make
not sure that my spells are the best. Okay. Now, mind you, you've talked me into making a roll. That's not cool.
I
but...
know. I'm actually kind of pleased I was able to convince you that way.
So, 18 plus, is this my, I get to add my...
Your student sorcerer, yes, and your intelligence.
Okay. That would be add 3 to that.
Okay.
Comes out to 21.
So you actually will just barely be able to kind of look amongst the crystals that you kind of hit with some damage, and you'll realize how they're oriented, and that pulling some of them up will shut this generator, shut this gate.
Okay.
Matt, does Carl use a recovery for that?
I used the recovery for that one.
Okay. All right. So Cochinelle disables the red gate on this round and clears her lane. Rook on 16.
Does Cochinelle communicate that somehow to me?
I'm going to say no, given that you're engaged with
then I
combat. What
I
do you,
keep destroying then.
the worm or this or the gate?
console.
Okay. Roll your damage.
And I get an extra action.
Oh, look at that.
So
Like you're all a
5,
fancy lad and stuff.
He's so fancy. He's elf fancy.
37.
Not bad.
I will say, since you're 1 point short of what you would have needed, I'm going to say you will shatter the gate with that. So blue gate is done, and you've cleared your lane. there's a worm on you.
And then
Your
I'll
second
use
action?
Second action to shortcut the worm.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have a.
Don't have momentum, I don't think.
I don't have a partner.
Oh, that's right. AC of 21,
So
escalation
I'll try
die at 4.
I'll try to bleed it
Okay.
if it bleeds. Plus 4. Wah, wah, wah.
So you will miss, stagger over. You're glad no one was around to see you do that. The worm. What is your AC, Scott?
17.
17. Let's see what it will do. I think it's going to have to do that one. What's your PD?
7. Hold on a second.
$17?
Yep.
Okay. So that will hit Scott. You will take 18 points as it kind of comes in, and you'll see liquid kind of roll down those tentacles on its front, and it will whip and cut into you. You're going to take 5 points ongoing.
So, let's see. So first I took 6. How much was it?
It was 18 and then 5 ongoing.
39.
You also pop free when it does that.
Okay. And it rolled a 9.
It rolled a 9 to hit you.
So the spiky bastard,
We'll do 10 points, right?
10 points back to him.
Okay. It didn't like that. The last puffer on Carl. We'll make that strike against your AC. We'll miss, Carl. Kathak on 13.
Alrighty. So there's 4 guys left.
Yeah.
Black Dog is
the blue
dead.
the blue whipper. The black dog is
Dog's
up. The blue whipper is
Black
the
dog.
one
Black
that
Dog was dead.
The blue whipper is the one that has not used its lacerate once per battle attack.
Alright, hit that one.
So-
Okay.
Don't fucking hit him!
Don't hit him? Right. Oh, you mean when you hit him he blows up or something?
If you get him close to but not dead, he will do that attack and it will kill Black Dog again.
Oh, okay.
So
Alright.
finishing off maybe some of these already wounded, already
Like the other whipper.
yeah,
I'll
like
just hit
the
the
yellow
whipper
whipper.
that I hit already.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes.
So its AC is 22, Ben, and you've got an escalation die of 4. Nice. Roll your damage. 40 points of damage. Sink that into it. It is still up, but it is barely clinging on to life. On 30. Whipper on Cochonel. Whipper on Black Dog.
Oh, jeez.
What is your AC, Cochonel?
It's the same old 20. Doesn't
Excellent.
go up with the dice as far as I know.
That will miss. And Carl, what is your
Yay!
AC?
22.
That will hit. You will
Ouch.
take 36.
Wook.
I am still up.
Oh my god.
I have
Tough.
How many points do you have
2.
left right now?
I have 2.
Oh my god, I was so close. Black Dog on 24.
And that's all I need.
Yeah, you
Say
say
hello.
that.
By the way, what is my escalation die?
Your escalation die is a 5, Carl.
Okay, then I am raging because I rage for free at 3+.
Excellent.
Okay, so I am declaring unstoppable.
Okay.
And my whirlwind attack.
All right.
So do I only have to hit with 1, or do I have to declare that unstoppable on which one it was?
On which one?
Okay,
I
I'll
assume
do
on the whip guy thing, right?
on the puffer.
You want the unstoppable? Oh, you want the unstoppable on the puffer? Yeah, that makes sense. Puffer's AC 19.
Okay, so 2d20. Yeah. So 2d20, so it's an 18.
So that will hit.
Plus, yeah, plus. Yeah, so I hit. Cool.
Okay.
He's dead. I assume 5d10. It's 5d10.
Yeah, you can. That will kill it, Carl, since it only has 10 hit points left.
There we go. Yeah,
Okay.
plus the whole bunch.
And now roll your recovery, right?
Yeah, I will get a recovery. Let me roll to hit the whipper first.
Okay. Whipper has an AC of 22.
Okay, d20 plus 9 plus 5. Yeah. And that is a crit.
Oh my God! Look at you.
My next one. Crit. Okay, so that's roll 5d10 plus 9 plus 7. Plus 7.
Okay.
60.
60 points of damage. This thing will reel back. It is still up.
Oh, fuck. That's
Uh-oh.
not good.
Well, you've got some other people to go this round.
Okay, and now
Conceivably, you can take it out
recover.
before it goes again.
7d10 plus 8.
Do you do D10s or D12s?
No. Yeah, right. Sorry. 7d12 plus 8. Subtract the 2 and the 7. So 9. So 50. 58. Yeah, 57. Yeah, 57.
Well,
Is that a freebie recovery?
Yeah, it's free.
yeah, that's barbarians. They are bad to the bone. Tommaso on 23.
All right, let's end this whipper.
Okay.
Move in.
PD of 20.
Now, Sandra.
Yeah.
Now that it's this. My light armor says once staggered, regain 1 expended feat. I was staggered, and I didn't regain a feat.
Okay.
Well, forget it. No, I'm good. I don't want to do that. It's
Okay.
once per day.
All right.
So I'll wait.
Tommaso.
All right, so making a melee attack against him.
Okay. PD of 20. AC of 22.
AC of 22
That will hit.
with a 5 hits for 36 damage plus 1d6. So
One-
for 40.
121. It is still up.
Oh shit.
Cochinelle on 17.
Okay, I got hit by that thing. I know what's going on over there, and 2 people that I need to not get hit are there, so I'm going to hit that one over there.
So you want to disengage.
Shocking grasp.
Okay. And you can use that how many times per day with that?
Let's see. This is a thing. Shocking grasp is at will, I believe, but let me check.
Okay.
Make sure it's not. Yeah, it's at will.
Okay.
That's why it's awesome.
So go ahead and roll against its PD of 20.
Okay.
So that
Very
will
good.
get you out of the
Plus
way.
one, so-
Roll a
okay.
D6.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. I got to roll my precious bit of
I
damage
know,
there.
every point counts.
1. 5
5 points. 49. And now your attack on the blue whipper. It
Okay.
is PD or AC?
It's versus PD. So it's
PD of 20.
okay, and then I'm going to roll something and then add 1 to it.
Okay.
19. I miss. Crap, but it does 5 points of damage.
5 points of missed damage. It is still up.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Rook on 16.
You did get the +5 die.
What's the
Yep.
next? What's the next increment after the D6?
D8.
D8. Woohoo!
Okay. So your
I'm
first
going-
action?
I will attack this thing in front of me.
Okay. Go ahead. It is an AC of 21, Scott. That will hit. Roll your damage.
8 plus 8 plus 2. Oh!
17.
Hmm.
So that would be... It is still up, Scott.
Hold on, let's see. Okay, I guess I'll hit it again.
Okay. It all comes down to that will hit. Roll your damage. 5d8 plus 10. Nice.
Much better.
That will cut it down. You were hoping to cut it down so you could get over to your friends, but no.
No. No.
Puffer's gone.
That's it. We're all yelling. No.
Now,
Kathak.
Now is the time for our little pal.
Kathak.
Okay.
Which one do you want to shoot? The yellow one or the blue one?
Mine!
This one.
Mine!
Blue,
Mine!
blue, blue,
Go blue.
blue, 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 blue.
Someone's gonna blow up, huh?
Yep.
All right, I'll hit the blue one.
Okay, you need to hit a 22, Ben. Escalation die is a 5. That will hit. Roll your damage.
Thank goodness.
42 keeps getting better.
Ben,
Right.
this thing is, you see it start to gear up to do that whip around and hit everybody again, and you will pull the shot out,
Oh.
bury it in the eye, and it will drop before it can get it off.
Awesome.
Phew.
Just barely, and I mean just barely. You did that by, I think, 4 points. So close.
Awesome.
What is your AC, Cochinelle?
Same as it ever was. 20.
Same as ever was.
36 points of damage.
Ouch. I drop.
Cochinelle will drop. Black Dog on 24.
Automatic critical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I rolled a 20 last time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you had that ability. So go ahead and roll your damage. That's a really nice ability, too. I like that one.
Because you could choose when that is. That's huge. Plus... what was that? What did I roll? Okay.
So 36, so 72 points of damage.
Yep.
Shoo! You will cut it from stem to stern.
Okay. Can I help Cochinelle at all?
Oh, yeah. So we go out of combat there. You guys can go over and stabilize her, I assume, Tommaso.
Mm-hmm.
You guys will gather yourselves together. These things will kind of twitch on the ground. But it looks like they are out. And you'll kind of wait to see if any more guards come. But you won't hear anything.
I have a question. It's things as they're dying. Like, they die normally?
Yeah, they seem like living creatures. They're just weird and black and white. The puffer has, certainly they have venom in them. You know, as they're kind of breathing their last, you'll see that ichor kind of bleeding out of them.
What kind of ichor is it?
It looks like some kind of nerve poison.
Huh. I'm a
What flavor?
preservationist. I'll preserve some.
Okay. Matt? I think you got cut off there, sir.
And today, no, I was just goofing.
Okay.
Oh, it might be useful for Kathak's arrows.
Okay. So you guys will gather yourselves together, wait and watch. Does anybody need to take any recoveries? Is anybody below half right now?
I am.
I'm going to take a recovery.
Okay,
Yeah,
so mark
I
off.
will too.
Go ahead and let's roll those.
Does below half mean anything?
It means that you have to take a recovery after combat's
okay.
over.
Okay, so 22 gets me up to 6.
Okay.
What am I? I'm at 59. So I'm actually not below half.
Okay.
But I will still take a recovery.
Okay.
And then do I have to take another one if I'm still?
Yes.
Well, I need to anyway.
Yep.
So. Okay, So it puts me down to 5, and that's great, even worse. Okay, so it's
So 54. So I'm up.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one last one will hopefully get me above half.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I'm full.
All right. Are you above half now, Sherry?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I assume you guys will press on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gather yourselves together. Your associate, nobody called on for rerolls, so he's not threatened at all. So he's still there with you.
Yeah, Adderall, you were like the proverbial tits on a bull.
Oh,
What?
Mo?
Technically, essentially, he was kind of holding things off, but didn't attack aggressively. An aggressive attack would mean that you guys used him for rerolls, which would make him vulnerable to attacks. You will.
I just kept forgetting about
Yeah.
him. I totally would. Okay, then go on.
And you guys will move across and down off into this next section, and you can see that there are some. There is a set of stairs going down, and you'll see below you a set of like crystalline chambers, kind of bubbled, and you can see in a couple of those some of those crab and lobstermen working. And you can see in another one of them, looks like maybe some kind of chamber of mechanics. It looks like there's stuff in it. And then there are a couple of other big ones. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. I'll give the full description of that next week as you guys press down into the final stages of this.
Okay.
All right. So we get all our recoveries back?
Oh, God, no. You don't get any recoveries back. You're where you're at in terms of hit points. The only thing I will give you is an incremental advance.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Can I roll a 16 plus spell recovery that I did not roll from the last time?
Yes, absolutely. Anybody make any other recoveries for powers that you need to roll?
I don't got anything.
Okay.
I don't even know if I can have a.
Woohoo! I got cure wounds back.
Oh, awesome.
Yay.
I don't
We
even
are
know
all
if I
relieved.
get anything to be a. I guess I can get it. No, I got a feed.
Cure wounds
I
is
guess
the
it
best
gets-
one to get back because it doesn't cost recoveries.
Yes.
I guess I get skills.
Poor Salvo is so sad because you don't get it back.
Yep.
With a recharge, you gotta wait.
Dailies.
Just makes me sad.
I think it makes the little happy.
Yep. Anything else? Any questions, anybody, before we wrap up?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay. This will take up with you guys doing the very last stage, the final confrontations here at the Torrentstal. Revelations, discoveries, treasure,
Loot.
treasure, treasure. All right.
I feel robbed when you tell me it's the final one because I have not used a ritual yet in this place.
Oh.
Oh.
I mean,
You'll need them all for the cleansing.
Well, you should do some rituals, and I should too. We can make it like double mumbo jumbo.
You could
So
make
I
it
like
rain
that.
ritual.
Ooh, a ritual rain.
Ritual rain.
What could be better?
I think I've ever gotten a dead cat with a sweater on.
Loot.
It's in my backpack. It's carefully wrapped up in.
He's not riding, like peering over your shoulder.
It looks like it from
Maybe
the
he
backpack,
is.
yeah.
Maybe I've resurrected him. I'm actually negotiating with Tommaso right now to have that done.
Necromancer for good.
You gotta wait
Yeah,
till level
You're
7.
not going to need that resurrection spell later on in the dungeon. Come on, wake this cat up.
It'll be the best. All right, I'm going to stop.
I'm going to call him Tompkins.
Stop the recording now.
See.